Thank you very much. My name is Gila, as he said. 2 points that I think are very important. First of all, it's the youth to have the right mindset. That's very important. And in Rwanda, we try as young as possible to give them the right tools. Laptops and things they can play with. So we have a program called One Laptop Per Child, whereby primary school kids are given laptops, and from there they build the confidence to start and try things. Second thing, which is very important, is the bottom-up approach. If you want to see the youth of Africa going strong, I think we need nationally to be strong, empower them, have clubs in secondary school and stuff. And from there, they will reach our age with the necessary skills to move forward. Again, there is an aspect of reaching the critical mass. The earlier you start, the better it is. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much for that very brief statement. Before we take questions from the floor, let me just ask Christian to briefly talk about the project, and you can do it by any language you prefer.
Ok, merci Sean. Présentement, okay.
Currently, we have a project, an ongoing project, which is divided in 5 parts. The first part is this internet youth entrepreneurship. The youth are asking themselves how to develop leadership in the internet sector, and the second is how to organize content, local content. We had in our discussions about the local content, because the African continent is just a consumer. We would like to give the youth opportunity to implement projects. We have also the cultural aspect. The African culture is important, and we have to protect our culture. We have also to ask ourselves what are the mechanisms in order to use the new technologies to discover or to come up with new approaches, so that we can put the African culture in the net. We have also to put the agricultural aspect of Africa in the web. Those are part of the projects that we are analyzing, and the submissions of projects are open. We have all the information on the website concerning those projects.
Come to the floor to speak.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Matogoro Jabera from Tanzania. Have few comments and observations. Youth Africa Internet Leadership, I take it as a positive direction. Just for a brief, my university, the University of Dodoma, is one of a very new established university since 2007. And the plan is that we are planning to have more than 40,000 on-campus students, and we are currently having 21,000 students just in 5 years in operational. I see the opportunity of educating more African youth as a challenge for employment opportunity, but we also have a way to go, which is on the emphasis on innovation and entrepreneurship. So a challenge that I can just see, I remember during the AFNOG, we had about 30 countries participating in the training. I'm not sure on the numbers of representatives from African states that's contributing to 53 countries in Africa. My point is that this kind of program, we should make sure that we have the sustainability model, but as also we make a way to scale out and reach to entire African community rather than being localized in a given location. I think the Youth Africa Internet Leadership Program has got a number of opportunity, and let us make the opportunity be utilized to all African states. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll take 2 more questions, then the panelists will respond to that, then we'll continue. Please go ahead.
Okay. Hi, I'm Abbas from Djibouti. This program, the Youth Internet in Africa, is very interesting. In fact, I was proud to participate in such program with the ITU and the World Bank. The point is that these programs want to develop the young entrepreneurship in the ICT sector. And for instance, in Djibouti, it can bring even the creation of 5,000 to 7,000 jobs in 3 years. These programs are very interesting, but there is a break. There is something which is blocking a lot. When young people have an idea about doing a company regarding ICT services, whatever it is, call center, data center, techno center, remote management, or whatever, they need to have internet access. And internet access is not by copper. And when the operator has a monopoly and they don't care about their own customers, and when these youngster people are going to the bank to ask the funds, the bank is ready to give the loan, but they are saying, first, do you have the access? Do you have the authorization from the operator? And what are the procedures? And we have seen a lot of projects in this thing in East Africa going down, even in my country and in the region. So the point is, you said that you have accepted 10 projects, but how to push the national operator to bring fiber connectivity to a reasonable price and to convince them to bring this chance or this opportunity to people to develop their ID instead of going outside and coming back to France where they are studying or other countries. There is a break between the organisms who want to develop the ICT sector and between the authorities or the operators. In Kenya, the megabyte per fiber is about 300 to 400 for corporate. New entrepreneurship with young people cannot allow to pay this price. But we understand that to have 1 megabyte internet pipe clear with anti-DDoS and all the stuff and the security can't cost this price. But no one is able to understand or to make compromise. I just want to know, because I have seen ITU, World Bank doing this stuff a lot of time, how the AFNOG would like to influence the countries, since they are working with all the operators, the national and the local ministries of the countries, to make this project successful. Because I hope that when we come back, we will come back next year on the next meeting AFNOG, something will develop, even in my country. And that's all. I just want to know about the synchronization.
Thank you. Thank you very much. We'll take the last one, then we'll try to see whether we'll try to get response from the panel. Please.
My name is Mahmoud Abdurrahman. I am from Somaliland. And I wanted to put it slightly in a different way. Where the country where I'm from, it's actually, there's about 75% of population is youth. And when you look at it in a different way, most of these youths, only 35% of the population are able to read and write. So there's a huge gap in terms of education. And looking at the internet penetration rate in Africa is still very low. It's about less than 10% of the population, the internet penetration rate. Even though, despite all the fiber optic cables that we have within the continent itself. We also face some other challenges. We still have nearly 50% of the population living in rural areas. And that makes it difficult to deploy networks or to introduce internet in certain areas. We've seen in the company that we work for, when we increase the capacity of the internet that we have, we've seen many educational institutions that a huge growth in terms of educational institutions that has been deployed in the country. We have challenges in terms of power, in terms of infrastructure within African continent itself. So my question is, how do we develop an applications that will allow people to be able to read and write and to educate people, and with the right local content or the right language that will help those people to be able to access education through apps that's been developed locally? And how do we encourage the African governments to be able to encourage or create the right framework, policy framework, that will enable investors to be able to expand network infrastructure into those certain areas? Please excuse me if I went off the topic slightly, but this is what I thought maybe we can think about it, ways of creating the right framework.
All right, thank you. We'll take, I think, you want to say something? Yeah, please go ahead.
Thank you very much. For the first question, I will just give experience that I have. The person from Djibouti said the price of internet is high, operator is not understanding that a whole sector needs to be developed, and he's still in his business mind. So maybe you can try to develop tech shops or tech hubs whereby all those young people can meet. In Rwanda, we have something called K-Lab. I think it's the same in Uganda. Those hubs are working in East Africa. And those hubs are as well enabling those young people to set up their businesses in those hubs. They don't have to pay any rent, any internet. They just come with their idea and their laptop, and they are starting from there. But they have to register at the company registration. So they have to be officially known so that they get those benefits. The person from Somalia said, how can you enable the government to create those enabling environment? Again, in Africa, there are regions whereby things are already working. Just compared to East Africa, there are so many tech hubs that are working again. Come and see. There are no special policies, but only people who are there who are understanding the need and enabling. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I don't know whether any of the panelists wants to add any more thing. Okay, Pierre wants to.
Yes, quickly. I wanted to also to say that we should not just be saying, okay, government should do this, should do that. If you visit most of the IHOPs, all over Africa, most of them have been started actually without government, having a say in it. which is quite important. When you go, for instance, in a place like Zambia and you see, well, young people that have actually started from scratch, because they really believe in it. They really wanted to make a difference in the environment. So they did it. And later on, of course, governments, see that there is something important in this, and then they can assist. So the piece of advice should be to really start and not just wait for government to do this thing. The language issue also you put, yes, definitely. There's something to be done as far as African languages is concerned. I mean, technologically, it's doable, actually. But the point is we need to put us together in different, countries and select which languages we want to put forward and which team can work on it. But the technology, is there. Thank you.
Thank you, Pre. I think it's a big challenge to we youth. We need to start, and it's easier to start and say, this is where I am. Can you help me go further? Than not starting at all and expecting the support from somewhere. So if we start, and perhaps maybe later during this session, we could also ask Pierre if there could be avenues to present those initiatives that have started and the ones that are about to start, so that we can know how we could get further advice or support towards achieving those personal goals that we may have. And that is what I think this Youth Internet Forum is about, so that we can be able to harness all these ideas and be able to track the implementation progress of these things and make sure that we are achieving our voices is made known in the internet space. Thank you, Pierre. We could have the next question from the floor or comment. However, please, let's try to be as brief as possible. Our time is fast spent. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I'm Arnaud Amelina Blazis, and as you know, I'm 3-in-1, and all of them speak in French, so I have to speak in French. Thank you. Yeah.
As you see, the youth has a lot of questions. We have to see that you are just queuing, the queue that we, and we have also to ask the right questions and take profit of those questions. Africa is a particular case, and a lot of people knows that we are half of our body in the middle age, and the rest ahead of time. We are trained to be trainers during more than 30 years. We were training trainers in order to replace the colonial trainers. Now we need to train university students to the entrepreneurship. The question is, what will this youth association will bring to different states, nations, and what will be its actions so that the different government can take the necessary decisions in order to consider youth as a wealth that needs to be well trained. This is my first question, and I'm having a lot of other questions.
I represent a company called ZACR. We're from South Africa. In August of this year, we will roll out a program whereby we will train our students on internet, we will train them on soft skills as well as entrepreneurial skills. On completion of the training, all our students will attend workplace experience with various ISPs. Now this gives the students the opportunity of the technical side as well as the soft skills and entrepreneurial skills. So those that want to remain in the technical side could remain. And those that would like to become entrepreneurs, they can do so. And what is most critical here is the workplace experience that they will receive with the various ISPs. The program is a one-year program. We will roll out this program in August of this year, and at the next meeting, we will come and give you feedback, and we will show you what we have achieved in this program. Also, just to let you know, we've decided to go on 10 students, whereby 7 will be female and 3 male. We need more females in the industry. Thank you.
Now I know the females and will be clapping now. Thank you for that very, very important test bed. I think it's important to follow up on that and see how those success stories can be shared on the African Youth Internet Forum, so that other people can also learn from your experience. I think it's a very good thing. I will look forward to reading from you or hearing from you soon. So please go ahead and discuss.
Okay.
Yeah.
Emmanuel Adjovi from International Organization of Francophonie. I would like to speak French.
I would like, on behalf of the Francophonie, to congratulate the leadership of the youth and for their entrepreneurship. I would like also to encourage them to go forward despite the difficulties that we can see. It is normal, and nothing can be done without crossing the difficulties. I would like to encourage them. Their process is joining what the Francophonie would like to do in the coming years. For the program 2015-2018, we have priority programs for youth and women. And when youth is taking initiatives, we are obliged to encourage this youth to go ahead. I would like, if you can allow me, I would like also to propose a strong structure for this process, and I can bring more details later. What we are missing in Africa, and it's the organization. If it's not well structured, the initiative cannot go further. The second comment I would like to address is that it is important to renew the staff of the summit, African Internet Summit, and the work that you are undertaking can go beyond the youth that are coming in this summit, and will aim the whole continent so that others also can participate to the development of internet and the growth of our country. Thank you very much. Merci.
The important thing I heard from that was it looks like we will also be calling for some of the experienced ones and our elders to perhaps also signify their support by helping to become mentors in some areas to allow some of the youths to gain experience and be able to follow through. Because if there's a process that's, okay, this person is following up with this person for a certain period of time, maybe we would experience some progress in terms of the capacity building for youth. I will ask that if you want to make comment, please come to the floor now. After the last person that is there right now, we will not take any further comments. So please go ahead.
Ok. C'est Amisen, je viens du Sénégal. Je trouve que votre initiative est vraiment...
I think that your initiative is good. And the university in which I'm working is in a rural area. With my colleagues, we have put in place an association and associations for computer science. And these associations has the objective to participate to the development of the area through the ICT. I would like to know what is the procedure to follow in order to be part of your organization as a young Senegalese. Nous allons poser. Soyez bref, s'il vous plaît, pour qu'on puisse bien sûr.
Just want to appreciate the role of some of the institutions on the continent insofar as the youth are concerned. And I'm talking about fellowships. We've seen a lot of our youth travel to international meetings, and it has changed a lot of things in our countries. And I think ICANN, ISOC, OIF, just to name but a few, have been doing this. And we need more of this, because most of us who are called young people who are here, we are beneficiaries of this fellowship. We went once, twice, and then we became good. AFNOG as well has contributed a lot to this. The other issue is involvement is key. I think there is no shortcut. The youth have to be involved if they have to take up their rightful place insofar as leadership is concerned, because leadership is not given on a silver platter. There are responsibilities, and we need to embrace the responsibilities as early as possible. And I want to tie this to the issue of young children. As you all know, the major football teams in Europe have youth academies. And these are the people we celebrate as stars. They've been brought up and nurtured through a system. Unfortunately, in Africa, we get these young people who grow old when they are still young, and then there is nobody to replace them, and it's a big problem. So there's a problem for children. There's a program for children. It's called Safer Internet Day. People volunteer to hold it in many countries, and I think we need to hold it in as many countries as we can so that we can sensitize the young people on some of the better things they can do on the internet other than Facebooking, not pun intended, and just Googling. There is much more to be done on the internet other than just spending time on social media. And so I think as we work on the program, let's look at the children. Let me use that term. Thank you.
Thank you. Can you make it in 30 seconds, please?
Okay, thank you. My name is Ronke Adeni. I come from Nigerian Communications Commission. But I'm speaking in my personal capacity. I'd like to make comments with regards to Evelyn talking about transferring of technology innovation into entrepreneurship skills for youth. Let me localize my opinion. I would come from the Nigerian perspective. Government basically drives most initiatives, agendas in Nigeria. So I've seen all manners of youth initiatives with regards to contribution to internet and ICT generally. But what I've realized is in Nigeria, for instance, we have a lot of overlapping authorities with regards to youth development. Maybe if you're talking from internet, for instance, the Minister of Communications and Technology is involved. So in this case, what we've been able to establish is ability to lobby our ministers. For instance, if you want to move from just being techie to entrepreneur, you need to involve probably the Minister of Youth, Education. We need to take it back to the schools from grassroots. It's not starting at probably the high school level. We need to start from primary school level to teach our youths or our children how to be entrepreneurial or how to take care of their money and all, and identify the leadership potentials in them. Also, I agree with the panelists from Rwanda talking about bottom-up approach. What I've found out is, like I said, I'll use the Nigerian example. Most of the time, we are more consumers than developers. We like to consume, especially imported things. So if we go back home and reorientate ourselves and start from bottom up and appreciate whatever it is that our youths, our techies are coming up with, embrace it, I'm sure it will go a long way. For instance, our Nollywood in Nigeria is one of the, foremost content provider online. So that's a way to go. Then finally, we also need to look at access. Like I said, government buying. For instance, a youth techie comes out, has all these innovations and all that, but there's no access to fund. What happens? So we need to see how the youth can engage government better, lobby them, and let them probably come up with some policies that, if you've gone through all this, you have maybe like a discount.
Yeah.
For access to bank loans and all that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, please, 20 seconds, please.
Bien, donc je reviens, ce sera un commentaire.
I'm coming back. It's just a comment because part of my questions was dealt with my predecessor. I would like to congratulate those who put in place this association. I'm congratulating also for congratulating AFNOC and the collaborators for the organization of the summit. That the African youth is important and has a future, and when we see on the internet, we have a lot of Africans in Facebook. We like to play a lot rather than working a lot. And through this project, I would like that this association can analyze the effort of youth and encourage to produce on the internet. The last thing I would like to add is that I wish that this association can implement historical elements. It should play a role model in Africa. If we are playing in Africa, because we do not have a role model in Africa, but if you know, we have a lot of role model in Africa. I don't know if you know the Archive Association concerning the black scholars, and we would like that the youth can go to this association so that they can discover the black inventors, black creators and scholars in Africa. Je ne pense pas si vous avez bien sûr tenu votre promesse. Je suis Denis de l'Ouganda.
What kind of help would the African Youth Internet Forum give to someone who has a group, say, that is already established, and all they need is just help to sustain it? Because I have a couple of friends who started up a Linux user group, and we used to meet every month, and it helped quite a number of people. I'm one of the beneficiaries. That's how I got to get introduced to Linux, and a number of people have benefited out of this. But because it's not sustainable, we no longer meet. We meet, say, once in a while. In the past 1 year, we've met, I think, 2 or 3 times.
Yeah,
so how can you help?
Yeah, so how to help, yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much for all the comments, questions. They are all very important, and I'm sure there's the contact. We'll try as much as possible to get some of these responses to you, one way or the other, or you could interact with any of the panelists within the week. I will ask Christian to make a comment on some of the things that were raised, and then I will ask Pierre to close for us. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Juste pour résumer, la question de Arnaud.
To sum up the question of Arnaud and the Senegalese woman, the idea to create a local community. This community will discuss about specific problems. We do not want the approach as it has been said, the bottom-up approach. The local community should first work on the local problems, and I'm not going to go further in this subject, but if you have questions, we have a mail address, and you can write in our main.
Just contact us, and we'll keep in touch and keep discussing online. I will pass the word to Pierre to close this ceremony.
Okay, thank you very much. Je voudrais dire juste que ceux qui sont intervenus, qui ont parlé.
To say about those who talked about your association, they have to say our association.
We actually crafted the AF Stars, and a few keywords maybe that you would like to consider. I think the first keyword is the structure. We need to structure this thing normally, and the way we are suggesting get in touch with, that's fine. But one of the things I would like to see here is that we should say, let's form this a small structure around Christian Bopé, for instance, to move this process on. And so let's try to, in fact, right away have volunteers that are ready to work with, Christian Bopé to move this to another, level. That's quite concrete. Let's give them a timeline to do a few things, for instance. The project you see there, Christian and a few others, they work on it, and the idea was to launch it actually here. But on the second thought, it was felt that, well, why not do the real bottom-up approach we are talking about, and introduce briefly this thing here so that it really starts from the basis. So I would like this sort of structuring, the timelining, and it's about self-organization. It's not just about running to donor agencies, things like that. Believe me, I worked so many years with the UN, with ICANN, but right now I'm actually wearing my sort of community person hat. I think let's self-organize this thing first. And of course, we need resources. But resources is about, lobbying, and then the funding. And this, normally, when you have a good structure in place, it will be possible to get those resources. And actually, some of us are already trying to commit something on this youth program. So that's where I would like to end. Thank you.